Hello there and welcome to Standard Price Television News. I'm Smaye Lusara. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, Reverend Father Moses Oshiu Adasu University Makurdi chapter has strongly condemned the recent heinous attack on Yelwata, Kuma local government area of Benue. The union in a statement jointly signed by Mr. Ali Aku, the chairperson, and Mr. Daniel Chill, secretary, described the Yelwata attack as one attack too many. For more on the story, Mariam Dusa reports.
The DOR, who urged the government to improve citizens' protection, expressed concerns over violent assaults that have continued to plague numerous communities across the state. They decried the continuous loss of innocent lives, wanton destruction of properties, and the growing atmosphere of insecurity that threatens the peace and stability of the state. The statement added that the Yelwata tragedy is yet another painful blow to the rural communities whose lives and livelihoods have been upended by this unprovoked act of violence. It is particularly alarming that these attacks are occurring at the peak of the rainy and farming season, a critical time when Nigerians rely heavily on agriculture for food and economic sustenance. The people of Benue, predominantly farmers, have been driven out of their ancestral land by armed herders, depriving them of access to their farmlands, pointing out that this trend poses grave risks to food security not just in Benue but across the country. ASUMOM urged both the federal and state government to live up to their constitutional responsibility of securing the lives and properties of all Nigerians, especially in rural and vulnerable areas. They further called on security agencies to act with urgency, diligence, and fairness to prevent further bloodshed. Mariam Dosa reporting for Standard Voice Television.
More than 100 people were reportedly killed on Monday following a fierce confrontation between foot soldiers loyal to notorious bandit leader Bello Turji and members of the Zamfara Civilian Protection Guard near Chira village in Shinkafi local government area of Zamfara state. According to local sources, the Community Protection Guard, supported by members of the Borno State Civilian Joint Task Force, launched a surprise operation on Turji's stronghold with the aim of capturing him dead or alive. The offensive was allegedly led by a repentant bandit identified as Bashari Menu. For more on the story, Rama Ibrahim reports.
A resident of the area identified as Saidu Garba said they mobilized under the leadership of Bashari Menu, a former bandit who has since renounced violence and headed straight to Turji's camp without the knowledge or coordination of formal security forces. However, Turji reportedly got wind of the impending attack and swiftly organized a counter-offensive. Garba revealed that Turji had intelligence of their movement and quickly mobilized over 1,000 armed fighters, which led to a deadly exchange of gunfire and lasted for several hours, with no intervention from security personnel. Garba confirmed that while Turji narrowly escaped the ambush, more than 100 of his fighters were killed in the ensuing battle. The CPG also suffered significant casualties, with over 20 members reportedly killed, including Menio himself, adding that if the security forces had intervened during the clash, Turji might have been neutralized. Another resident, Muhammad Sani, described the terror experienced by nearby villagers during the prolonged gunfight. Efforts to reach the military spokesperson, Lieutenant Colonel Suleiman Omale, were unsuccessful at the time of filing the report. However, the Special Assistant to the State Governor Dawda Lawal on Media and Communications, Mustafa Gaura, confirmed the incident, but said he could not provide an exact death toll as an investigation is underway. Rahama Ibrahim, the reporting for Standard Voice Television News.
Nigerian National Security Advisor Malam Nuhu Ribadu and the Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa has jointly warned that hunger and poverty are no longer just social issues, but has escalated into significant threats to national security. For more on the story, Samir Ibrahim reports.
Their remarks came on Monday during the 14th National Security Seminar, themed Converting Hunger and Poverty for Sustainable Peace and Development in Nigeria, organized by the Alumni Association of the National Defense College in Abuja. Simultaneously, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu flagged off the distribution of 2,000 tractors under the Renewed Hope Agricultural Mechanization Program to promote food security across the country. Represented by Major General P.P. Bala, Director of Defense Affairs at the Office of the National Security Advisor, Ribadu emphasized that poverty and hunger are driving a cycle of insecurity, crime, and social fragmentation. He said poverty leads to insecurity, and insecurity in turn worsens poverty. Under President Tinubu's leadership, the federal government has prioritized agricultural reforms, social investment programs, and enhanced security operations to disrupt this cycle. General Musa, represented by Rear Admiral Ibrahim Shetima, Chief of Defense Training, stated that insecurity is no longer defined solely by weapons but also by economic hardships and food scarcity. He said hunger and poverty are now national security threats, pointing out that regions like Benue, once known as Nigeria's food basket, have seen agricultural decline due to banditry, displacement, and farmer-herder conflicts. He warns that the illegal occupation of farmlands and the disruption of farming communities are contributing to rising food prices, mass displacement, and internal instability. Musa called for urgent investment in grassroots agricultural development and urged stakeholders to make farming a viable, respected profession once again. That's the report. I'm Samira Ibrahim reporting for Standard Voice TV.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Ebetukun, has announced the arrest of 26 persons suspected to be mastermind of the killing in Yelwata, Benue State. Addressing a news conference in Abuja on Tuesday, the IGP said the police were on the heels of other suspects who participated in the Yelwata killings that led to the death of 47 persons. He assured Nigerians that the police are not overwhelmed as they are mopping up light and small weapons illegally acquired by some persons. The IGP added that the police is also intensifying its border patrols in order to curtail the influx of irregular migrants into the country. He assured that the arrested suspects will be arraigned in court soon, including the 22 suspects who were arrested in Jos over the gruesome murder of 9 persons traveling to Kompan for a wedding. The IGP clarified that 28 persons were internally arrested, but 2 have been cleared as they were only used as a bet to arrest the 26 suspected masterminds. The executive chairman of the Zamfara State Internal Revenue Service, Hajia Rekia Ahmad Dodo, led a strategic and productive meeting with the Association of Gold Buyers alongside members of the Zamfara Inland Revenue Service management team. The engagement centered on key businesses-related issues with a strong emphasis on fostering collaborations, improving compliance, and enhancing economic growth within the state. ZIRS remains committed to building strong partnerships that deliver mutual benefit and contribute meaningfully to the prosperity and development of Zamfara state economy. That's all in the news. I still remain Sumail Musarsi. Bye for now.